Hey yo, it's your boy E-Dawg, man. I'm here to tell y'all. I got a call from this dude out of the blue. That Strange, one of the producers from Mix's Click, got a hold of one of my songs, and he said, "Yo, I want to sign you." He said, "How much do you want?" And I told him what I wanted. He said, "Come on, man, I can't afford that." And I said, "Hey, man." He's like, "But I'm independent and I'm a new company." And I said, "Well, what can you do?" And he threw me an offer, and I said, "Okay." And he said, "Okay, well, give me 30 days to put this money together, these deals I'm putting together, but you're gonna be my first artist." That dude called exactly 30 days, and I signed to this label, which I shouldn't have, but he pulled the whammy on me, you know, and he found me with my mouth out and I needed water, you know. So he was just like, "Come to LA. I got the lawyers on the contracts. We'll get you the contract. We'll do this." And I'm excited. I'm like, "Yo,
here we go."
From the time he had somebody pick me up from the airport, I was like, "Uh-oh, what's going on here? Like, where's Greg?" Greg had me to come pick you up, man. You know, I'm the assistant or whatever. Then we go to the assistant's house, and then we open the apartment door, and there's roaches, you know, disappearing on us. And I'm like, "Man, what?" No. So I said, "Yo, I'm gonna leave my bags in the car." And then I'm like, a day later, he's like, "We're gonna go meet Greg tomorrow." I'm like, "Cool." We meet up with Greg, and it's this dude, clean cut dude, Rolex watch, you know, nice car. And I'm like, "Yo," and he's like, "Yo, you're not gonna stay at Tyrone's. You're gonna stay in one of my apartments." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So we're in Beverly Hills, upscale. You know, he put me in this apartment, no furniture, nothing in it but a bed. And I'm like, he said, "This is just my apartment. I'm getting a divorce right now. My wife got the house, whatever." He's not staying there with me. I'm staying there. The next day come, he pull up in a different car. So I'm like, this dude must got nice change or whatever.
Right.
We went over and met some producers. He started introducing me to all these people, man. And it was real cool people. And he's like, "Yo, I got a distributing deal I'm trying to close with Rap Pages." Rap Pages was a magazine, but they were trying to branch out to put out music. I said, "Okay." So I'm kind of hyped. I'm like, he's like, we're waiting on the lawyers to finish your paperwork. I leave in 4 days. 4 days is coming. "Yo, what's up with the paperwork? Because I need to shoot the paperwork back home so Ricardo can look at it, let me know if it's cool before I sign it." And he's like, "Yo, they're not done. I called them yesterday. They said they won't have it done yet." Then for some reason, the day that I was flying out, the contract was done. Now, keep in mind, you're looking at a check, right? And you're looking at a contract. Now, your goal was to come home with that check. So we went to dinner with the investors. And so it's 4 guys, Mercedes-Benzes, white shirts, ties, extravagant restaurant. We sitting there and they're talking to me and they're asking me questions and they're cool. And then the one investor said, "Did he sign the contract yet? Should I write him his check?" And he says, "Oh, no, we got the contract though." And I was like, my stupidity kicked in. I'm signing this damn contract. I'm going home with this money. And the dude pulled the contract out, and I kind of act like I was going through it.
Didn't even look at it.
I looked at it. It was bad.
How bad?
I knew the point system wasn't right.
Right.
And that's the bottom line. And I looked at it, and the dude went to write his check, and I said, No. I said, "I'm not signing this with a check." I said, "If you can go get a cashier's check or cash, we can roll." He said, "This guy's good." You know, he's like, I said, "I can sign this contract. You can sign me a check and cancel the check."
Right.
You know, so I was just like, I'm cool. So they give me the money. They go get cash. I'm going home with all this cash. I'm happy, whatever. I get home. Anyway, man, to speed up the story, dude ended up being bogus. He didn't have no money. He was a car salesman. That's why he had a car every day.
He was a car salesman.
And the guys that sat down with me were investing if he had all the stuff that he said he was going to get.
Right.
They were the ones that owned the lot in Orange County.
Oh, no.
So things start coming out. And I'm like, "Why you lie to me, man? You know, you had to lie to me. You know, you could have gave me part of the company and we could have made this happen." And he was just like, "Yeah, man." I said, "That contract is horrible." And he's like, "Well, you signed it, but I understand, you know, we'll work it out." But to his defense, I came back to LA, man. He was like, "Yo, I got us a meeting with Madonna's label, Maverick.
Right.
Dude wants to sit down and listen to you and see if we can't get something going over there." I said, "Cool." We went into the meeting with Maverick. the head A&R, listened to my stuff while I was sitting there. He said, dude, you got something. And he kept saying, you got something. And I'm like, okay, I'm kind of feeling good. Then he says, yo, the record was done. He said, can you get mixed on this record? I said, come on, man, that's easy.
Really?
He said, get mixed on the record. You got a deal. I said, well, I guess we got a deal then. He said, hey, I have contracts tomorrow for you guys to take home, look at it, let your people look at it. Let's go. I'm like, yo, I'm about to be on Madonna's label.
Right.
So I leave the office, sit in the lobby. Greg Peters stays there, and Madonna walks in.
Yeah.
And she's pissed. She ain't talking. She just looks at me. She looked at the receptionist. She said, where's he at? She said, he's in a meeting. And she says, okay. And she walked back, and I'm like, this bitch is rude. Right? And we leave, and Greg comes out and goes, damn, man, she's an asshole. And we left. We come back. We got to come back the next day at 1 o'clock to get the paperwork. We come back at 1 o'clock, walk in, the receptionist looked at us both and said, and we were like, what's up? And she's like, yeah, he got let go yesterday.
Oh.
And I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I'm like, yo, this is not good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mad again. Now I'm back to where I was. I'm like, Greg, man. So I started like telling Greg, like, you got to pay my bills every month if you want me to stay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you fouled me, you know, whatever. I know I ended up stealing my masters and jetting to Seattle and cut the ties eventually. So I always got this joke where I say I had more record deals than the average and still didn't have a record out. Because then every deal I had that was a great opportunity, it was either somebody did something foul or something got messed up because of the person I was working with. I got a deal on the table with Interscope that was going to be the big one. And Interscope was like, they took a meeting because we ended up playing basketball with the owner of Curb Records, the biggest country label, Michael Lord. So Michael Lord was like, he was like, yo, if you guys stuff is good, have you took any meetings or whatever? So he hooked us up with Interscope. Interscope sat down with my producer Strange. And Strange was working on a project over at Interscope that one of the top A&Rs was trying to make everybody family. He told Strange, I want you there for the mix down. Strange didn't go to the mix down because he had to go to a wedding. The artist said it was cool. The A&R didn't like it. They had words, whatever. So when Strange was in the meeting and they listened to the material, it was 3 albums. It was Strange's solo album, mine, and this group that we was working with, and called Los Angeles. They didn't want to pick up Los Angeles. They wanted to pick up the E-Dawg record. So they was like, yo, we'll do the E-Dawg record. We'll get you paperwork. Same thing. And Strange called me and I'm like, what? We're going to be Interscope? I'm fucking everybody. I'm talking crazy. And I'm pumped. We're waiting on the paperwork. They said give them a week. A week go by, we don't hear nothing. But when Strange was exiting the office, he seen Mo's assistant. And he said, yo, what up, Strange? What you doing here? And he's like, yo, they want to sign E-Dawg. And he's like, oh, really? And he said he felt something was funny. So he left. They never reached back, man. And Michael was trying to reach the guy, and the guy said, well, we decided not to sign anybody right now because we're merging with Sony. And we just, we don't know if they're even going to keep all the roster. But it was just bullshit. So I was like, man, that's crazy. Well, at the same time, this other label, Epicurean, was starting up. And it was like one of the richest bail bondsman companies in Los Angeles. And the dude, I knew the guy's, his son, which started the label. He called me and said, yo, what you doing? I said, I'm in L.A. He's like, yo. He's like, I was just at Interscope, and I was having a meeting with Mo and them guys, and they said that they was about, I seen a name, E-Dawg, on a disc, and I said, who's that? I said, I know an E-Dawg. And they was like, yeah, this is guy Strange work. He's like, is he from Seattle? They said, I think so. So he's like, yo, you guys signing him? And they was like, yo, we was going to sign him, but we don't like his producer.
Oh, no.
So then he was supposed to do some shit and didn't do it, so they killed the deal. So Dimitri said, well, if I sign him, will you guys distribute the record? We got the money. And they were like, maybe, and possibility it can happen. So he called me and was like, yo, how much you want? Same thing. He's like, God damn. He was like, I think I said like 50,000 or something. He said, come on, man, we're independent. I said, come on, Dimitri. And he's like, I tell you what, I'll give you half now, and then when you turn in the record, I'll give you the other half. I said, that's cool with me. And we negotiated over the phone, and as we're negotiating, he says, man, my stomach hurt. I said, man, you need to go to the doctor. He said, I ain't going to the doctor till I finish this deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay. So we're going back and forth with the terms, and we're working it out. And a week later, I said, okay, agreeable. And he says, okay, well, I'm going to send you your check on the airlines. So we get there the same day. Then you just take the contract down there. You send me the contract. The check will be there. We're good. I go down to the airport, grab my check, send the contract out. I'm cool. Dimitri goes into the hospital the next day. 2 days later, he calls me and he's like, yeah, man, they said something's wrong with my shit. I don't know what it is. I'm waiting on these tests. And a week later, he says, yeah, man, they fucking said I got colon cancer. I said, damn, bro. And 45 days later, no, about 30 days, I go to LA to record. He pays for my ticket. I go by the house to see him. And he was a stick. And I said, yo. And he's like, I know, man, I didn't want you to see me like this. He went back into the hospital, and about maybe 15 days after that, he was dead.
Wow.
So he died immediately. I ended up flying to the funeral. His sister took over the label. And I wasn't no longer her priority because she had a project that she wanted to push, and I just felt it. And when I got done, I was like, yo, I need the rest of my money.
Right.
And she's like, well, her father said, okay, well, he said, I didn't even, really get into the details of the contract yet, but he said, Dimitri did tell me something about we had to give you more money, so he said, I'm going to go ahead and take care of this. I'm like, cool. Mr. Cameron, that's what's up. And then Regina said, well, hold on. Got on the phone and said, she's like, we need to just go over the contract first real quick. And I said, okay. So I'm waiting, and she hits me and says, E-Dawg, this is Regina. Do you have a copy of your contract? And I said, no. And I said to myself, wow, why is she asking me for the contract? Right. Well, make a long story short, Dimitri knew that there was a possibility he can die.
Right.
He didn't want us to be signed to his sister because he didn't want his sister to take over his label. He had his best friend, or one good friend, called another individual that we both know. And then he called me and said, E-Dawg, I'm supposed to tell you this, but just don't say nothing. And I was like, what? He said, you're not on Epicurean no more because Dimitri had the contracts destroyed before he died. I said, are you serious? He said, yeah. I said, cool, I'm out. And I left.
Wow.
I left the label. So, but just all the bad news, all the bad shit, man. Signed it. Then I signed with, what was they called, man? They were like a big distribution underground company out of the Bay. And picked from DRS, that same gangster league. I signed to him with a deal, me and Ricardo, and then he took off with the money, and they robbed the label and some more shit. And that got messed up. It just kept going, man.
It's your boy E-Dawg, man. I'm here to tell y'all the struggle is real. Anybody that's not struggling right now is not human.